So I got a nose job and it didn't quite work out for me. Let's talk about it. I'm officially 1 year post-op, and if you are about to undergo a rhinoplasty or a septoplasty or both like me, here's my tell-all video. And now that I'm fully healed, I am here to look back at everything. I'm gonna take you through every step of the way, tell you all the nitty-gritty of the process. I'm gonna take you through my consultation, to my pre-op, to the actual surgery room, to now where I stand with my results. Plastic surgery is quite the polarizing topic, so let's just talk about why I wanted to get a nose job. First and foremost, I wanted to breathe! I had such a bad deviated septum that really affected my everyday life.
Coming close for a little bit of deviated septum ASMR.
I've always been a chronic mouth breather because I can't breathe through my nose. So I remember when I was 13, I went to an ENT and they confirmed, yeah, girl, you gotta get surgery. At the young age of 13, I already knew I didn't quite like my side profile. I didn't like my nose, sue me. I always had a very prominent nose. It had quite the large dorsal hump, and then it would droop a lot when I would smile. I didn't like it, I just didn't like it. Is that society's standards being so deeply implanted in my brain, therefore making me self-conscious of my nose? Probably, and you know what? I'm so fucking real for actually admitting to that, okay? Like, I'm very, very hyper aware of the fact that if you're surgically changing your face, it's a form of insecurity, duh. And before any of y'all come for me, both my mom and my dad got a nose job. So it was like basically written in the stars for me. They obviously told me I was beautiful and didn't need one, but I'm like, y'all are a bunch of hypocrites, I'm gonna do it anyway. So at 13 years old, when I was told I need a full reconstructive surgery on my nose, I was like,
let's wait a little and let me grow into my nose a little more.
and I thought, if I'm gonna do the super dramatic part of fixing my septum, yeah, I'm gonna get my hump shaved down while I'm under anesthesia. Why would I not? So teenage Katie decided, wait until your prefrontal cortex fully develops. So let's maybe wait till we're like mid-20s to really jump on that decision later down the line when I'm fully grown into my nose. That is my number one tip to anyone who is getting their nose done, or honestly any form of surgery. Wait a little. I feel like people who get it done as a teenager, they either regret it or it's too small because they didn't give their face time to like figure itself out. Like at 13, my nose was huge. And then at 25, it was still big, but like proportionate to my features, if that makes sense. When I turned 21, I still didn't quite like my nose, but I didn't have a lot of money. So I did get a liquid rhinoplasty to hold me off, and it looked pretty damn good. Honestly, it further reinforced in my brain that, yeah, I wanna get my nose done. And then that brings us to 2024, where I, at the ripe age of 25, said, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm pulling the trigger. We're doing this. Let's go. I told myself, girl, you have thought about it every single day for 12 years. Just do it. Now, picking a good surgeon is obviously a very crucial part in this process. I mean, you're trusting some random person to physically alter your face permanently. So do your freaking research. I'm talking like you need to go on every online forum ever and weigh out what you think about each surgeon. And don't just look in your local town, maybe look like 2-3 hours away from you. Because at the end of the day, it's your face. You want someone really, really good and really, really qualified. I recommend not only looking at their Yelp, but also Real Self, Vitals, and Reddit. Oh my God, Reddit will tell you the real tea. I live in Southern California, so I have a really good pick of the litter when it comes to surgeons. A lot of them are based in Orange County and Los Angeles.
We are here in none other than Beverly Hills, baby. This is like the mecca of plastic surgery, so I feel like I'm in great hands.
Let's talk about the price though, because in Southern California, everything's expensive, including surgeries. This may not apply to your state or country that you live in, but the average price in California, United States of America, it is anywhere from $15,000 to $50,000 for a primary rhinoplasty or septorhinoplasty. It's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, but they always say there's two things that you don't skimp out on: your parachute when skydiving and plastic surgery. And I did not skimp out, dude. I was like, I'm not going to someone that's gonna mess me up. I mean, one thing that I really wish I learned beforehand was nose jobs have the highest revision rate of any surgery out there. Even if you go to the best of the best and spend so much money, there can still be complications, just like I had. So I initially narrowed it down to 3 different surgeons, and I highly recommend go to as many consultations as you possibly can. I talked to 3 different guys. One of them was super mega famous, $50,000. He did a Kardashian, so his prices are pretty steep. Another guy in Orange County who like specializes in noses. He only does noses. And then this third one that I loved his work, plus he was an ENT and plastic surgeon. Those first 2 guys, they're not an ENT. And to me, an ENT was the most important thing because I wanted them to make sure I was gonna breathe properly. To me, having a good connection and communication with the surgeon was pretty crucial to me. I'm a big talker. I'm big on communicating and collaborating and making sure I'm on the same page as someone. And the first 2 guys, their egos were so big and they were giving like lizard people vibes. That's the only way I could describe it. Super off-putting vibes. Pretty qualified men, like they had some of their bad reviews, but overall pretty qualified. Didn't like their personality. So I went to the third guy. He was the sweetest man ever.
Okay, I did not expect to be that blown away. They went so in-depth. I felt so heard. Say yes to the dress, or like say yes to the rhinoplasty.
Doing consultations with doctors is kind of like you're dating. You know how when you're dating and they always say,
When you know, when he's the one, you'll just know.
that was literally me. Like I felt it in my bones that he was the right one. Those other LA surgeons, they max give you like 15-minute consultations. This guy sat down with me for a full 45 minutes telling me how it's gonna go, how I'm gonna heal, what he's gonna do, how he's gonna do it, how I should look after, what I should expect. It felt so right. It felt so right. So I said, yes, sir, sign me up. And 4 months after that consultation, I was on my merry way to go and getting myself a freaking nose job, baby.
Ooh, good morning. Today's the day. I would say it's bright and early, but it's not bright. It's early though. Getting suited up.
Lunch lady. You're looking killer right now.
Thank you. Get the full fit.
Damn. Gucci socks. Prada gown. This is one of a kind. One of one.
So my nose speed.
When you get a nose job, there are 2 types. There is a closed rhinoplasty, which takes a lot of technique and skill. I do have to give my flowers to my surgeon. It is completely scarless. They somehow access into your nose through the inside of your nostrils, and that's how they're doing everything. Then you have open rhinoplasties, which are more common, not a bad thing, but they do just cut you right here at the bottom of your nose, and they basically just lift the hood up, and then it gives them more access to everything. Which, looking back at it, I was so obsessed with the thought of not having a scar when in reality, it's not that big of a deal. An open rhinoplasty is not that big of a deal versus closed. Like, right before the surgery, I had no doubts in my mind. Like, I really didn't think anything could or would go wrong.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being great, 1 being not so great, how you feeling right now?
It's weird because I feel like a 10 in confidence knowing it's gonna look good. Like, that's not where my nervousness lies, which is, I think, a good thing, and confidence in the surgeon. It's just like the general, oh my god, I'm going under anesthesia, oh my god, I'm in a hospital setting, that freaks me out. It smells like a hospital, it's really sterile. That's what freaks me out. I was pretty damn confident. Like, on the nervousness scale, out of 10, I was maybe like a 6. I'm doing fine. It's just the anesthesia. And like, what if I do something cringe when I'm under anesthesia?
Like piss yourself?
What if I piss myself under
What if
anesthesia?
you poop yourself?
Stop. Let's not go there.
It's like a fat, stinky
Stop.
dump.
No, I won't.
Surgery.
What if I make a weird noise when they're putting the tube down my throat?
All the doctors go,
What if they're like, ew, she's so cringe?
They text me, bro, come pick her up. She needs to go home. You better leave the house like that.
But yeah, on a scale of like 1 to 10, my nervousness right now is like a 6. This was just my first like elective face altering surgery, so that could put you on edge a little bit, as well as I kind of know how I feel after anesthesia, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I was not looking forward to that. The whole staff was incredibly sweet. The doctor asked what music I wanted to listen to, so I told him Frank Sinatra, because when I sat on that surgery table, I started to get a little nervous. I need something to calm me down. I expected the surgery table to literally just be like a metal sheet. It was so comfy though. They put me in a little pillow. They had these like things on my legs, squeezing them to keep the circulation.
Okay, do you have any music requests?
Something calming. I feel like you need some like Frank Sinatra.
What was your drink of choice? What did you order at the bar?
Apparently some Valium.
It's a martini and a syringe.
I like drinking liquor more than getting some needles in my arm, so
Yeah.
I will say that.
It's gonna be delightful in a second here.
Deep rest and then breathe normally. And before you know it, it'll be all done. Let me know what life is like.
Dude, the last I remember is I was singing Frank Sinatra and I was out like a light. And then I just woke up in the hospital bed, all done. Fully clothed, by the way. Like, I remember that was one of my first thoughts. Like, I went into the surgery butt-ass naked. Who put on my underwear? Underwear, sweats and all, like what? I think it was the sweet nurse, but it was just so funny. Like, I didn't know that that was part of the treatment. I really worded it perfectly right when I came out of anesthesia, how anesthesia feels.
How are you feeling?
So drowsy. Oh my god, I did it. That felt like the best nap of my life. I felt like it was like 12 hours, but at the same time, like 10 minutes.
It feels like you took the longest nap of your entire life, but at the same time, it feels like it was the blink of an eye. You know when you wake up like mid-REM sleep and you're just so exhausted? That's what I felt like. My head was like a bowling ball. I was so tired. I was kind of lightheaded, kind of spinning a bit. And then I experienced something I've never experienced while coming out of anesthesia. I got so nauseous. That's one thing no one ever tells you about nose jobs. Apparently that's really common. Trigger warning if you don't like talking about vomit. I looked at the nurse and I was like, I need to yak right now. And she gave me a bowl and it's not even like normal yakking because you fast the whole night before the surgery. I literally just threw up blood and mucus. I literally just threw up blood and mucus. Vile. Disgusting. Unlike anything I've ever really seen come out of my body before. And keep in mind, throwing up really involves your facial muscles, and doing that literally like 30 minutes after getting your nose completely broken and rearranged. Quite the experience. I would not recommend it. The reason you can get really nauseous is because your stomach doesn't like when there's blood in it. And when you get a nose job, a lot of blood and drainage is gonna wanna come out, but if you have splints in, like I did, your nose is clogged, so there's nowhere for it all to go, so it's gonna go to the back of your throat, and when you're asleep, obviously, you're gonna swallow it, it's gonna go to your stomach. Yeah, that was really not fun. That was really not a good time. So I yacked, I gathered my things, my boyfriend picked me up, and I went home.
Leaving the office was a blur. I came home and slept for like, I don't even know how long. My sweet, sweet boyfriend is letting me take over his bed, and he's bringing in a separate bed so he can still sleep alongside me while not fearing over the fact that he could possibly knock my nose in the middle of the night. That is love right there. Take a bed.
Threw up even more when I got home. And when I got home, I wanted to take some pain meds, and my pharmacy didn't prescribe me the like higher dose ibuprofen that I was supposed to take. But they did give me, it was Percocet or something really strong like that. I said, throw it back. I don't care. I don't want to feel anything. Big mistake, Katie. Those types of pills can get you very nauseous. So that just like worsened everything. So I yacked a lot more, and then I finally found anti-nausea pills, and then I knocked out.
While we're here, I haven't chatted with you guys in a minute. Been a while. I flew up. I slept on the whole drive home, came here, napped even more, and I yacked again, and then I was like, I need to get food in me. That might be the reason why as well. So I tried eating that banana, and then I yacked it up again, and then I went to sleep, and then immediately felt sick when I woke up, so I yacked again, tried to down some soup, and yacked again. So at that point, I was like, wait, did they freaking give us anti-nausea medication? So I just took that. I don't know why I just took that. I could have done that hours ago. I feel so much better already. Right now at this point, it's like just starting to kick in, like, oh, that is a broken nose on my face. It's a little bit like pressure and pain right here.
They always say after anesthesia, the last thing to wake up in your body is your digestive system, and that's so true. Oh my gosh, I woke up starving. Anesthesia naps though, oh god, they hit. That was so good. I napped for like, I don't even know, 5-6 hours. It's so hard to eat though because you have this hard cast on your face and like everything's kind of sore and throbbing. I was so grateful to have a Ninja Creamy in that moment. Oh.
I'm feeling incredibly grateful to own a Ninja Creamy in this moment right now. Strawberry pineapple.
You know what we can do? Can mix in the Advil.
I don't know about that.
You sure?
No.
It's a mix in at the topping.
I don't know about that.
I don't think my Ninja Creamy sorbet has ever tasted that good.
Good morning. Happy nose job day 2. I actually slept incredibly well considering how concerned I was about my sleep quality sitting up. There's for sure puffiness in my eyes, but like I am shocked at how little bruising I'm seeing right now. That's insane to me. I want to blow my nose so damn bad you don't even understand.
Another thing about anesthesia that no one talks about, it can make you so emotional.
My eyes are so puffy and crispy because I may or may not have had my first breakdown last night. I asked the doctor to show my nose when it was like fresh on the table, and quite honestly, it just looked a little bit smaller than I was anticipating, and that really freaked me out. I would not recommend crying with this much casting on your face because it's really difficult. So yeah, I did like cry a lot. I asked my boyfriend like, are you still gonna be attracted to me after this?
I was crying over like any little thing. Oh my gosh. And then my doctor sent me the on the table photos of my nose, and I don't know why the hell I asked for those photos because I had the biggest breakdown I've probably ever had in my life. Just know the on the table photos look nothing like the nose that you're gonna have a year from then. It's just gonna be so upturned, so small, really red. Your cheeks are puffy. Like in that moment, my heart sank to my stomach and I was like, oh, what did I do? Every day you have to change your sling underneath your nose because it's catching all the like whatever extra blood and debris you have coming out of your nose. I don't know.
There's a lot of spitting involved though, I will say that.
And for obvious reasons, you can't get the cast wet, so you can only take a body shower. You can't really wash your face, wash your hair.
My lovely, lovely boyfriend made me an acai bowl, eating our lunches together.
One plus about the recovery,
You're gonna be so skinny after.
no, but for real, you can't breathe. You can barely really move your mouth. You have to eat things that can like be eaten with a spoon and that are really soft. So I lost so much weight that week because food is so unappealing to eat. You also can't taste it. You can't taste it because your nose is completely clogged. And you have to chew with your mouth open, and when you swallow, your ears plug because you're clogged up. I did have my first sneeze. I'm glad my doctor warned me about it because some doctors don't warn you. It worked out. It wasn't that scary actually, but I sneezed a lot. I think it's just because the splints in there are like triggering you to sneeze. I would say that's my biggest complaint with the septoplasty. The splints, they do suck. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. They don't hurt. Nothing about the nose job hurts. It's just really uncomfortable. Nose jobs are just really uncomfortable. I feel like they look more painful than they are, but at the end of the day, they're just uncomfortable.
So day 2 was pretty uneventful. Anyway, lots of bed rotting. I'm happy I got a shower in. Just took a second antibiotic. And like surprisingly, the only pain meds that I need is ibuprofen. I'm pretty shocked by that. I thought I would need a lot more, but like this is all I really need.
Oh, but on day 2, I take that back. The only thing that's painful is shocking. Something I never expected and no one talks about. The roof of my mouth hurt so bad. The roof of my mouth, my teeth, and the back of my throat. The back of my throat because they had to put a breathing tube in your throat when you get the surgery. And the roof of my mouth and teeth were so sensitive because think about how close your nose is to the roof of your mouth bone-wise. Very close. So it was so sore. Like eating hurt so bad and then swallowing it hurt so bad. So it was definitely a soft food day. Day 2 to 3 everyone says is usually the worst. That's definitely when I noticed my swelling peaked.
Happy day 3. Officially day 3. The fact that this is like the most swelling I've gotten is insane. Honestly though, the worst part about today is that I got my freaking period. So I'm really battling that right now. I mean, what's shocking is that my period cramps hurt more than my actual nose right now. I'm getting like no more nasal drip too.
Also, if you have TMJ, oh my gosh, just prepare yourself for the worst TMJ pain of your life. Holy shit. Again, the actual nose job, not painful. The things surrounding it, painful.
I'm such a baby cleaning the inside of my nostrils. It icks me out too much. I don't like this. I don't like this. Ew, 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 ew.
Do kind of have to clean the nostrils every day with hydrogen peroxide, and it just freaked me out because it was still kind of bloody in there. And if you accidentally push on the splint, you kind of feel it. Ooh, like, I just wanted to forget that they were in there. I don't want to deal with all that. Thank you.
Good morning. Happy day 4, you guys. I will say, like, this has been the longest 4 days of my life. I'm not used to sitting around and doing nothing. And I've just been sitting around and doing a whole lot of nothing. Except for mouth breathing. The mornings are always, like, the puffiest for me. I don't know why, because I've been sleeping sitting up. My bruising has mostly gotten down. I need to like wipe off my eye crispies because I get so swollen my eyes get a little bit watery at night. Same with my nose. Like I'm technically not bleeding anymore, so I don't really need this, but yeah, it's leaking like just enough liquids to where I just need this to catch whatever is coming out. Yeah, the days are getting real repetitive. Yeah, I can confidently say I am over this shit officially. I can't wait to just like get this off and feel like a human being again. Yeah, honestly, shout out to my boyfriend for being the sweetest man in the world and letting me take over his bed for the week and him getting a little bed extender to sleep on. We've been calling this mega bed. I live in San Diego, so it was better for me to stay here all week because I have the post-op in LA anyway. Yeah, day 4 of recovery, you could definitely see the bruising. Like this is the most yellow I've been so far. My boyfriend wanted to join in on the fun.
Check it out.
I don't feel so alone anymore. This is great. I really didn't think that this would be a portion of the video, but I really need to make this like a common segment for my video of did Katie poop today? The answer today, no. Laxatives, water, fruit, veggies, it ain't doing it for me, okay? Drastic times come for drastic measures. I got 2 tablespoons of chia seeds in my ginger turmeric orange juice. Please just work. You have to work.
Oh my gosh, was I so constipated. My doctor did warn me that you may get constipated, but by day 3, I was like, this is getting ridiculous. I mean, I'm only eating soft food. Like, what? And the doctor also warns you, you shouldn't be bearing down on the toilet. If you don't know what that means, it's basically like when you push really hard to get a shit out, you shouldn't be pushing really hard to get a shit out because think about like... How do I say this? When you're pushing hard, a lot of pressure goes into your face and you don't want that. So I essentially survived off of sorbet for 3 days. Oh my gosh, and another thing, the cast, it gets like itchy and you want to itch underneath it so bad, but you can't. My doctor didn't recommend I sleep elevated and I was like, but everyone else does when they get their nose done. So I just did, which I kind of regretted because it's really uncomfortable to sleep sitting up. Although if you are instructed to sleep sitting up, I think I came up with a really good strategy that was fairly comfortable-ish, which is a win for when it comes to sleeping sitting up. Sit up pillow. I wrapped a blanket kind of around my neck as like a neck pillow so my head doesn't bob. Put a pillow underneath my knees for some knee support. Yeah, day 4, that is when the swelling and the bruising started to subside and go away. So the bruising started being like a yellowish color. My doctor did warn me that it's gonna start like up here and move down your face, and he said, I'm gonna look like a chipmunk. He was so right. Holy shit. It really was a double whammy because I was on my period at the same time that I was healing. So I don't know if that like PEMDAS kind of canceled out the pain, and maybe that's why I think it wasn't that painful, because my period was more annoying than the actual nose job recovery. I would ice my face to see if it would help with the swelling, but looking back at it, like icing my face really did nothing. Day 4 was when I started feeling more like an actual human, and I got out of that anesthesia fog, and so I went outside and actually breathed fresh air for the first time in 4 days.
My first time going outside in days. It feels like it's literally been like a week, well over a week. Oh my god, the sunlight. Oh. Field trip. I'm like a dog excited for a car ride right now. We had Panda Express the other day and we were like...
Put the camera on me. Welcome to the 30-day Panda Express eating challenge. We're gonna find out what's gonna happen to our bodies in the next 30 days. Day 2 of eating Panda Express. How much orange chicken do you think we can eat in 30 days?
Oh, I could easily eat orange chicken for Panda Express every single day of my life and I'd be totally fine.
Can we get Panda Express to like give us a lifetime supply of orange chicken?
Yo! Hey yo, Panda Express, I know you're watching. I know you're watching. We're big fans of your work.
That was really nice. I got Panda Express, but I don't know why, because I couldn't taste a thing. It's more so just like for the experience, you know? I had a period craving of orange chicken, but like I didn't get the satisfaction of actually tasting it. I just got the calories. Day 5, I was like, okay, well now I'm like fully conscious and now I'm just bored and kind of annoyed and want this to speed up, you know? Oh, but day 5, I had one mission and one mission only. I needed to shit, and I was gonna shit, okay? I was so destined to clear my bowels. 5 days? Like, come on. You'd be irritated too.
Officially like 5 or 6 days post-op, and I do not need any pain meds anymore. That's insane. I'll maybe pop an ice pack on my forehead if I feel like a little bit of pressure building up here, but I don't even like feel the need to reach for ibuprofen. I do feel the need to reach for a freaking shampoo bottle though. Oh my god. I'm really considering trying to carefully wash my hair today. I still have minimal drippage, but still like just enough to warrant a sling overnight. Ew, like whatever is in there is none of my business, bro. Ooh.
Day 5, 6, 7, they just started to kind of blend together at that point. But one major memory from those days.
Oh my god, huge news, you guys. I used the bathroom finally. Only took 2 laxatives, a full cup of chia juice, and a full cup of magnesium.
I finally took a dump, you guys. I think I've already said, oh, this is probably my biggest complaint, or this is probably the most annoying part of a nose job, like 5 times. I forgot to mention this. Above all, my biggest complaint, I think it's more the septoplasty part, the amount of spitting that you're going to do. Because remember how I said earlier that you're gonna have a lot of blood and mucus that they want to drain out this way, but they can't. So it's gonna go to the back of your throat, and you're gonna know, and you're gonna taste it. You have to get it out. So the amount of loogies you're gonna freaking cough up, bloody loogies, mind you, disgusting. All the time, by the way, all the time. I literally had to keep like a trash bag next to the bed. Day 6, oh my gosh. Hair washing day. Couldn't take it. You know it's bad when you comb your hair back and it keeps the shape of that comb back. My hair looked wet, okay? I needed to wash it. So I told my boyfriend, come here for a sec. Come here.
I've decided that I can't take this anymore. I can't live a life like this. I'm washing my freaking hair today. I put some rosemary oil in it just to get the ball rolling.
Okay. I hope this goes well.
Just don't get my face wet. It's like I'm at the hair salon. It's all good.
Yeah, but your stylist doesn't know what they're doing.
Can you turn the pressure like down or no? Yeah.
That's actually pretty good.
That's perfect. Okay.
Okay, I'm just taking it.
Wait.
I'm going in. You ready?
Okay.
Career shift. I'm becoming a hairstylist. Check this out.
Oh my god, this feels so good.
Alright, it's shampooing time. You ready?
Yeah, I try.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Start some like water through this front section.
This is so funny.
Please. Plate, please.
Put them down.
Rinse, please.
Soap in your ears. Cool.
Cool.
Frick yeah.
Yeah.
That was so stressful.
Mission accomplished.
He tried his best. All I cared was I had clean hair, okay?
Today is the day, my friends. We're finally getting this freaking cast off.
1 week post-op, I was counting down the hours to cast removal day. You know in that Disney Frozen movie where she wakes up and she's like, it's coronation day? That's exactly how I felt. I was like, it's cast removal day. Woke up bright and early. I even put on some mascara. I was ready, more so just to get the damn cast and the splints off of my face.
I cannot begin to express to you guys how excited I am for this appointment. I've been counting down the minutes because today we're getting the splints out of my nose. I'm getting this goddamn cast off.
I feel like everyone who gets a nose job, they always say the same thing. You're not gonna like how you look right when the cast comes off. Because most likely you're gonna look really, really weird and it's gonna feel weird, and I knew that going into it. But boy, was cast removal day eventful. I'll tell you what I was most scared of though. Getting the splints out of my nose. I saw a video one time on the internet of an XXL splint being pulled out of someone's head, and it traumatized me so bad that I'm not kidding, when I walked into that office for cast removal, I was shaking and already having probably the worst anxiety attack I've ever had.
I'm so scared for like anything to go up there. I'm
Watch
sorry.
this. Watch.
Okay.
It's just a mist. That bright lights, I'm sorry about that. Grab that splint.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay.
It's gonna be over in a second.
There's like a 10% chance I'm like gonna faint. Okay.
Well, if you faint, you're already laying down.
I know. Okay.
Whenever
I'm
you're
sorry.
ready. All right, I got you.
Wait.
Do you want to do it?
Sorry.
It's over here. That was it. All finished. I'm gonna take out the other one, okay?
That was so fucking weird.
Yeah, but it's over already.
That was the last thing I expected to come out of her nose. I didn't know what a splint looked like. I think she thinks she knows.
Well,
I think she's just as confused.
I think it was just the mental aspect. I think I saw a really bad video too.
You must have, because that was so easy.
I'm like shaking for no reason. Oh my god.
all finished.
It was seriously nothing, honey.
Like still just getting shaky.
No, you're good. You're fine.
Once he got the splints out, I was like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. I was just being a big baby. Does feel pretty weird. It's just a bunch of pressure being released, man. But one fun little quirk about me is that if I am anxious enough, I will make myself faint. And so when I sat up after getting the splints out, after having a major anxiety attack over the splints, I was feeling like I was gonna pass out. Like I was already seeing black a little bit. Had to recenter myself because it was the big reveal. I had to look at myself now.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's crazy. Wow.
You can touch it. You
I'm
can
scared. I
tap
can't touch it
Don't
right
get
now. I
It's
can't
okay.
touch it right now.
Oh my god. That's insane. I got myself so mentally hyped up though. I need to like lay down.
Once again, everyone warns you, you're probably not gonna like it, but looking at yourself in the mirror for the first time in your entire life, 25 years, and you look a little different, it's freaky. Plus, if you're like me and you had a big hump, most likely your nose is gonna be a little bit wider, and that was expected. all of it was expected. I was already feeling really faint, and then when I saw myself looking like that, I was like, oh my god, I don't even know what to think right now. When he first took those splints out, I could breathe pretty damn well. I was ecstatic. He gave me instructions on how to care for my nose for the next 5 weeks and sent me on my merry way. Immediately, in the car ride home, when I had looked at myself, bridge of my nose was already kind of uneven, and my nostrils were in like different zip codes, bro. So needless to say, I had a debilitating anxiety attack. I'm talking I had to curl up in a ball on the bed, shaking, crying. It is such a weird emotion that is so hard to describe, and I really think the only way to describe it is I was just having a major identity crisis. Because think about how much you look at yourself, yeah? Now times that by 10. Hi, Katie Farhood, content creator. For my job, I have to look at myself far more than the average person. Editing, filming, watching the videos back, so I think that's why it hit a little extra hard, whoa, I look different, holy shit. Once I was done having that terrible, awful anxiety attack, I had to clean my nose. After a septoplasty, you have to clean your nose with not a neti pot. It's a more intense version. It's like the garden hose version of the neti pot. Take this container, fill it with saline salt, and then you shoot water up into your nose so it can come out the other side. Doing that for the first time after having my nose broken and completely rearranged sent me into another anxiety attack. Took a body shower, had a little bit of an identity crisis.
We're good. Everything's fine.
I desperately want to get all the gunk out of my nose, so we're gonna do a sinus rinse.
Neil Med. Who's Mr.
Who's
Neil?
Mr. Neil? Shake it up. Shake it up. Shake it up. Shake it up. This is about to be nasty, dude. I feel...
Remember, you gotta keep your mouth open.
I'm frightened. Okay, I'm tying my hair back for this. Okay. I don't know how to do this.
Wait, hold up. Your nose looks great.
Does it just come... I'm scared. I'm scared.
Got this. Remember, just squeeze it up and open your mouth. It's gonna come out the other
Can I
side.
go like this?
I think so.
Oh, I'm so scared. Wait, I'm so scared.
Remember, don't push it too hard against your nose.
No, I feel like I didn't do enough. I'm scared.
Really go up and over and...
Ew.
Nice.
This is awful.
How you feeling?
Oh, good.
Oh! Oh my god.
Wait, I need to do more.
There's no fucking...
Ew. Okay, we can stop recording now.
I couldn't get it at first. I couldn't get it right. I didn't know how to really do it. You could tell by the end of that clip I was starting to freak out. What I didn't film was me scream crying, tears running down my face, water running down my mouth and nose, trying to do this damn nasal wash. I don't know how my boyfriend still loves me after seeing me in that state. Scream crying. Ah! It was the worst experience ever, but I will say getting the blood boogers out of your nose once I finally did it correctly, game changer. Many weeks following, you still got to do that nasal rinse, and it wasn't that annoying. If anything, it felt really good. Yeah, so about 2 days after cast off, this side of my nose, the one that's bulging out, started to hurt so bad. I had to put ice on it. I was back on pain meds. I was so confused why it was happening. I called the doctor. He said, girl, it's just swelling. You just had a nose job. It's not a big deal. It's all gonna settle. But wow, did it blow up like a balloon? And I was so careful. Once I got that cast off, I did not bump the nose. It came out the cast kind of looking like that. But my doctor told me it's swelling, and everyone says you're gonna have a lot of swelling in the beginning. So I just ruled it out as swelling. It looks good from certain angles, but dude, that swelling is insane. It keeps pushing my nostril down, so my nose just looks like this. Am I going insane, or
is this nostril so much lower. Just gotta wait it out, man. Just gotta wait it out.
6 weeks post-op, I was finally able to wear glasses again, which I was ecstatic about. Just because I wanted to wear some goddamn sunglasses when I'm outside. I can't even imagine what it's like for people who wear glasses to see full time. Like, what do you do after a nose job? I heard that you just have to like suspend it somehow, but it cannot touch the bridge of your nose because it's still taking form. 3 months for me is where things started going downhill because majority of swelling should be gone by now. My breathing started to get worse and my swelling was starting to reveal itself as not so much swelling. Let's just say that. This is where I really started to panic, like bad. I took these complaints to my doctor. I said, hey, this has not gone down, the swelling on this side, and my nostrils are still so uneven and my breathing's starting to get worse. He looked at me and he was like, I don't see what you're seeing. I don't see the uneven nostrils. I don't see the nose bridge popped out of place. And that really made me start to spiral because I was like, maybe he's right. Maybe I just have nose dysmorphia. His gaslighting, it worked at that moment. I stayed optimistic up until month 6. I was optimistic because everybody says that swelling normally takes like a full year to go down. So I was like happy-go-lucky and pretty carefree until I went to go see my doctor for my 6-month post-op. Looked at me and was like, oh my God, okay, awesome. I mean, 6-month mark, like all the swelling is down by now. Like this is what your nose is gonna look like for the rest of forever. Congrats. And I was like,
What?
he said, this is essentially how the nose is gonna look. Like, yes, you're gonna get a little more fine tuning, but like, this is the nose. This is where I really started to freak out. I pointed out the same issues again, and this time he didn't gaslight me. He did say, I see it. He poked on this side that's jutting out and he was like, yeah, no, girl, that's bone. You gotta get another surgery. And then he continued to say that my nostrils were like that before the surgery. I was just born with uneven nostrils and he can't fix them. He can't fix them because I was born like that. He also said he can't do much for my breathing that has gotten worse. He gave me nasal spray and something to dilate my nostrils and he was like,
Here you go. Enjoy.
Currently in this moment, all I'm thinking is, wow, my biggest regret is getting a fucking nose job. I wake up and my mouth feels like my tongue is gonna fall off. It's so dry because I cannot breathe through my nose at night. Just a little preview for you here. I'm so depressed. I'm so depressed. I've been crying myself to sleep every day this week.
7 to 12 months post-op, the nose did thin out a little bit and settle, but man, I was down in the dumps. That's an understatement. I was so severely depressed and anxious and self-conscious.
I'm genuinely so depressed. It's just so stupid. Like, I was having such a good, productive day, and then I thought too hard about the nose. And now I don't want to do anything for the rest of the night. I mean, another big factor to my mood right now is like, I'm not sleeping well because I can't fucking breathe out of my nose still. It's so weird. In the beginning, I was able to, and now I just feel like I'm suffocating all the time again. I wake up, I'm just mouth breathing. Like, watch what happens when I take a super deep breath. Like, that makes me want to fucking cry, dude. I know so many people are gonna be like, God, you're so out of touch for crying over a fucking nose job. Sure, I'm fucking out of touch for crying over not being able to breathe. Yeah. I went through the surgery to feel better about how my face looks aesthetically, as well as giving it more functionality. And now I'm just as self-conscious as I was before of the nose, and I still can't fucking breathe. So I'm just at the point where I'm thinking like, why the fuck, why did I even go through all that? Why did I even do all that? I literally need therapy. Like, I have not been doing okay. It's so stupid to say, but I think that is why I'm so afraid to go under the knife again and get it redone, because like, what if there's more problems that can stem from that? And there's a really high possibility that that can fucking happen. I feel like I look so ridiculous, but at the same time, girls who have been through what I'm going through, I know that they're gonna understand. Like, I just need this revision to go well, like so desperately.
Because again, like, I have to look at myself for a living, and looking at myself and seeing an uneven nose, like, I was crying myself to sleep, bro. Like, way too many nights. I know it is so vanity to say that, but like, if you've gone through a messed up nose job, you understand the mental load that it takes on you. Because no one really talks about how a nose job, like, yes, it's a little bit of a physical journey, 1 week, but it is such a mental journey more so. You know, you spent money. You spent a lot of money on this thing that you thought would make you less self-conscious, and when it ends up making you a lot more self-conscious, a feeling I would never wish on anyone, truly. So what the fuck happened? What the fuck happened to my nose? What is the final consensus? I had a couple of ENTs take a look at me. I did a CT scan, and this bone, it had broken out of place. I think when I had the cast on, it could have been I accidentally bumped it. It could have been a sneeze. It could have been the surgeon. Don't know what, but it healed that way. It stayed that way. My tip cartilage was supported, but it wasn't supported enough, so now it just kind of droops down again, and I hate how I look when I smile again. My septum was completely straightened though. Like, he did his big one there. But somehow my nasal walls on the outside, like the skin here, it just wasn't supported enough, so they collapse when I breathe in, So before I couldn't breathe because of my septum, and I fixed my septum, but now my nose collapsed because the skin on the outside now has an issue. My doctor offered a revision. We said, yes, let's revisit that at the 1 year mark. Sounds good. And everyone says don't go back to the same doctor if you don't like the nose the first time around, but like, it's not a bad nose. Like, I'm not botched. I'm not like, you wouldn't go on the street and think, wow, that girl got a really bad nose job, in my opinion. Like, it's upsetting to me because it's so uneven and I put all this time, money, and effort into it, but I don't think it's botched. So that's why I was like, whatever, I'll go back to you. Yeah, like, you know what you did the first time around, so just like make it better. He was down to do the revision, and then I got to the pre-op for the revision, and when I got there, his tone kind of changed. It was basically this really awkward back and forth exchange between me and my doctor, where I was trying to communicate to him like, hey, I, as the client, just don't like how it looks and functions, so much to the point that like I literally need anti-anxiety meds and therapy. And he was like, no, I think it looks really good actually. Why would you think that? And I was like, wait, but didn't you agree that this bone broke out of place after surgery? Like, weren't you gonna fix that? And he was like, no, actually it doesn't look that bad today. I think I really like your nose, so. And I was like, doctor, I literally cry myself to sleep over this. And he was like, but you shouldn't. He eventually looked at me and he literally said, hey, I think that this nose is a home run. I think that it is as close to perfection as far as nose jobs go. I think you look amazing. So I'm not comfortable touching this perfection. I'm not doing a revision. And I was like, oh, awesome. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, well, I guess I'm just gonna go find someone that will do a revision on this. Bye. So yeah, really not the fairy tale ending that I expected. When you sign the waivers for the surgery, obviously they tell you all the risks, all the things that can happen following the surgery, and that could include a revision. But I was just so optimistic and so like, la-di-da, that's not gonna happen to me. I got a good doctor, I did all my due diligence, I'm good. Sometimes you can go to the best of the best and it can still get fucked up. That's the scariest part about a nose job, I wish I knew. When you get a surgery that doesn't work out, you literally go through the 7 stages of grief. I'm not even kidding. I was in denial and then in depression, and now I'm in acceptance. I'm like, it is what it is. I booked my revision. I have another person that will hopefully fix everything. And you know what? That's the risks I took on going under the knife. Like, at this point, I'm not even gonna blame the doctor. Like, yes, he kind of dropped the ball, but I also knew what I was getting myself into, so. But if you're looking into a nose job, like, I don't want you watching this and now being terrified and scared. Like, this isn't me trying to fearmonger. This is me just simply telling my experience of failure, essentially. It failed. It didn't work out for me. I originally wasn't gonna post this, but then I was like, you know what? I think I need to, because every single video that I've seen on the internet of people getting this surgery, they just act like it's as simple as picking up McDonald's and going home and you're all good, baby. Everyone's like in and out, all good, everything's perfect. Mine was nothing of the sort. Mine was not quick, mine was not easy, mine was not a super happy fairy tale experience. And that's okay. It will cost a ridiculous amount of money to fix it, equal to like my yearly rent. So stay tuned, because I will absolutely be telling you candidly about my revision. Maybe it'll go better, maybe it won't. I don't know. I'm looking at the bright side of it, like at least I got the septoplasty out of the way. Septum straight. If you're getting a nose job in the near future, I wish you the best of luck. I promise you're probably not gonna have as depressive of an experience as I did. Yours will go great. You'll do amazing, sweetie. Love you. I'll see y'all in the next video.